Mr. Argon was given a simple, mild cathartic to soothe, loosen, and lubricate the lungs. Oh, the liver, excuse my misreading. This refreshment of the bowels is made from saltpeter and tartar. What I love about my apothecary, your Svetlana, is that her bills are always so polite. This refreshment cost 30 sous. 30 sous! Now, Nurse Svetlana, it's one thing to be civil, but you also shouldn't skin your patients alive with your prices! I am an upright, honest man, but in the past you've always charged me 20 sous for an irrigation. And everybody knows when apothecary says 20, they actually just mean half. So, 10 sous! On the evening of the same night, Mr. Argon was given a sleeping potion to relax the liver, soothe the organs, and restore a tranquil mind. 35 sous. I have nothing to complain about that one. I did sleep very well that night. 10 sous. On the 26th, Mr. Argon was given a laxative to purge his bowels of any excrements. 35 sous. Another 10. Next, on the 28th, Mr. Argon was given a skimmed milk with unsweetened honey to thin his blood. Another 10 sous. Now, Nurse Svetlana, if you keep going on like this, I shan't afford to be able to be sick. I mean, just last month I had 2, 4, 6, 20 enemas and 8 remedies. And now this month I've only had 12 enemas and 5 remedies. No wonder I feel worse. I'm going to have to bring this imbalance to Dr. Pagan. Someone take this all away from me. Is anybody there? Hello? Are you all deaf? Oh. Oh, how could you leave a poor invalid on his own? Oh, Toinette! You slut! Toinette! Oh, they've all left me here to die. Toinette? Toinette! Toinette! Oh, it hurts! my irrigations productive today?
Your irrigation, sir?
Yes, were my excretions fulsome?
Good God. I certainly have no idea. I'm not the one who handles that sort of thing. That is the doctor forgot to stick his nose into. He is the one who profits from it.
Well, next time make sure they have my heart beef broth ready for me. After all this upset, I want to take it very soon.
Your doctors certainly entertain themselves a great deal at your expense. Your body isn't the only thing being flushed away, and I'd like them to make clear exactly what your malady is. What is it that makes you so ill that you have to take this many remedies?
You foolish woman! It's hardly your place to question the medical elite! Fetch Angelique for me. I have something very important to say to her.
Oh, she must have read your mind. She's already coming.
My darling Angelique, come here. I have some very exciting news to tell you.
I'm delighted to hear what you have to say, Father.
Oh! Wait a second! Oh! Give me that! Oh, man! Wow.
That Dr. God certainly keeps him on the run. It's a trick.
Toinette!
Yes?
Look at me.
Well, I am looking at you.
Toinette!
Why, Toinette?
Can't you guess what I want to talk about?
I think I might just manage it. Your young lover, the one we've been talking about constantly for the last 6 days. You're miserable unless he is the subject to our conversation.
Well, if that's true and you know it, then why don't you start the conversation and save me the embarrassment of having to bring up his name each time?
You don't give me a chance. You are so obsessed, it's hard to get in a word edgeways.
I confess, it's true. I can't stop thinking about him. Oh, and I love telling you all the secrets of my heart. But tell me, Toinette, do you think I'm foolish to love him the way that I do?
Not at all.
Is it wrong to be so obsessed with him?
Oh, I would never say that.
Do you think I should reject all the tender, passionate things he tells me?
God forbid!
Don't you think that this all means that some divine intervention is working for us? Some act of fate would like to bring us together?
Yes.
Oh, my daughter, I have some wonderful news to tell you. How dare you! Oh! A man has asked for your hand in marriage. Oh, what's this? You're laughing. Oh, what a wonderful word, marriage. Such anticipation, such desire. By the look on your face, I certainly won't have to ask if you want to get married.
I will do whatever you wish me to do, Father.
Oh, how wonderful to have such an obedient daughter. Then it's decided. I have given my word.
I will obey all your wishes, Father, without question.
Your mother, or your stepmother, for some time would like to have seen you and your little sister Louison placed in a convent. She's wanted this for many years now.
She's certainly got some specific reasons for that.
But I was determined to have it my way. So she relented, and I have given my word.
Oh, Father, I am so grateful for your care of me. Thank you.
I have to say I'm equally as delighted. It is the most sensible thing you have ever done in your whole life.
Yes, well, I have not yet met the boy in question, but they assure me I will like him. And I'm sure you will feel the same.
Yes, of course I will, Father.
Well, how do you know? Have you met him?
Well, now that you've agreed to our marriage, I will tell you everything. We met each other by chance just 6 days ago. We fell in love at first sight, and now he's asked for my hand in marriage.
Well, they did not tell me this, but I'm glad. It's much better when it all comes together like this. They tell me he's a good-looking fellow.
Yes, Father.
Impressive.
Definitely.
Personable.
Truly.
A beautiful face.
Absolutely.
An honest man.
The most honorable of men.
Wise and well-placed in town.
Yes, Father.
And a scholar of Latin and Greek.
I didn't know that.
And in 4 days' time, he will qualify as a physician!
Doctor.
Yes, he did not tell you.
No, who told you?
Dr. Pugon.
Dr. Pergon?
Dr. Pagan?
How does he know him?
What a ridiculous question. He's his uncle. How could he not?
Cleant is Dr. Pergon's nephew?
What do you mean, Cleant? I'm talking about the man that has asked for your hand in marriage.
Yes, I know.
Well, he's the nephew of Dr. Pugon and the son of the late Dr. Diaforu. Sorry. And his name is Thomas, not Cleant. I arranged everything about the marriage this morning. My new son-in-law will come to the house tomorrow morning with his mother, the widow deliverance, Miss Diaforu. Oh, what's this? You're looking at me very strangely. Are you ill?
What's wrong? Oh, dear Father, I have just realized that while you've been speaking of one person, I have been speaking of quite another.
Now, sir, how could you have arranged such a ridiculous match? With all of your money, why ever would you want your daughter to marry a mere physician?
Well, I want to. And how's it any of your business, you busybody?
Calm down. You always start by calling people names. It's a bad habit. Why must you always get the dandruff? Now, let's take a moment and have a rational discussion. So, please be so good as to tell me your reasons for such a match.
Well, as you know, as of late I've been so weak and so ill. And given the current circumstances, I wanted a son-in-law from my medical family. I want relatives that can provide me medicines and remedies when I want them to. Write me prescriptions and consultations when I ask. And give me advice and attend to me when I want them to.
Now, I fully comprehend your reasons. Isn't it nice to be able to have a discussion with someone calmly? Now, sir, I want you to answer me truthfully and from your conscience. Are you really as ill as you say you are?
Ah! How dare you! I'm sorry. Am I really ill, you rude, insensitive? Am I really ill? Am I really... Am I really...
Yep, sir.
Am I really ill?
Yes, no, sir. You really are ill, very, very ill. In fact, more ill than we could possibly imagine. But why force your need upon your daughter? She should marry someone who suits her, and because she isn't ill, she shouldn't marry a doctor.
But I need one.
Would you let me give you a little advice as a friend?
What kind of advice?
Forget about this marriage.
Whatever for?
Because your daughter will never agree to it.
She won't agree to it.
No, she will not agree to this arranged marriage with Mr. Diaforu, with Thomas Diaforu, or with any other Diaforu in the world.
Well, I agree to it. And I'll give you some very good reasons why. Miss Diaforu was no other child than her son, Thomas, has agreed to this arrangement, and Dr. Pagan has agreed, and he has agreed to give his entire estate to his son, nephew, Thomas.
He must have killed off a good many patients to have made himself so rich.
Dr. Pagan is worth more than 8,000 sous a year, plus whatever his father was worth. That's a lot of money!
The money's all well and good, sir, but you're missing the point I'm trying to make. I must ask you once more to choose another man for your daughter. He is not made to be Madame Diaforu.
And I say she is.
Don't say that.
And why not?
Because if anyone heard you going on like this, they would say that you lost your mind.
Well, they can say whatever they want. because she will marry the man that I choose for her.
I'm sure she won't.
She won't.
She still won't do it.
Well, then I'll lock her in a convent.
Oh, well, good.
Well, good.
I know you, and I know that you would never put her in a convent.
Oh, you nincompoop! Why wouldn't I put my own daughter in a convent if I wanted to?
Well, you won't have the heart to do it.
I won't have the heart.
Your fatherly tenderness will stop you.
No, they won't.
Twaddle.
How dare you say twaddle to me?
Twaddle.
How dare you say twaddle to me?
Oh, calm down, sir. You know, underneath all of this bluster, you are the kindest of fathers.
I'm not a kind father. In fact, I'm not a kind person at all. I can be real nasty when I want to be.
Oh, calm down, sir. Remember, you are very, very ill.
I absolutely and irrevocably be. Irrevocably command her to marry the man that I've chosen.
And I absolutely and irrevocably forbid her to do anything of the kind.
Oh, what does the world come to when a servant orders a master in this sort of manner?
Well, when a master doesn't understand what he is doing, a good servant has an obligation and a right to chastise him.
Oh, you cheeky wretch! I'll beat the insolence out of you!
I'm saving you from your own foolishness, sir.
Oh, I'll teach you to speak to me like that!
You won't marry your father to your father. She won't obey me. She won't listen to you.
Baby! Angelique, fetch that woman and bring her to me!
Father, please, I beg of you, do not make yourself ill.
Oh, she's a gold digger. Well, Tom, that digs on me.
She ain't messing with no broke. Now I ain't saying she a gold digger.
Oh, my darling wife, come to me.
My precious husband. What is wrong?
Oh, my love,
My darling one.
help me.
What's the matter, my dearest love?
They're all trying to give me apoplexy.
Alas, my dearest love. What's wrong? Now calm down and tell me everything.
Your pet, Toinette, has been acting more insolent than usual.
Now don't get too excited.
But she's put me into a rage, my darling!
Calm down, my heart's joy.
For the past hour, she's been doing the exact opposite of everything I asked her to do.
There, my love.
She had the nerve to tell me that I'm not ill.
If she said so, then she's truly very naughty.
You knew the truth, my love. You know the truth.
Yes, my beloved one, she's completely wrong.
She's trying to kill me. She's the reason for my increased bile, my pains.
Don't get so worked up.
Oh no, how many times I've asked you to get rid of her.
Heavens to Betsy, my best beloved, there isn't a single servant in creation, man or woman, who doesn't have his or her faults. One has to put up with their bad qualities for the sake of their good ones. Toinette is useful, careful, diligent, and above all, loyal. And you know how cautious we have to be nowadays about whom we hire. Come here, Toinette! Why have you once again upset my husband?
Me, madam? Well, I have no idea what you're referring to. I always do my best to make sir happy. He only announced his intention to marry his daughter to the son of Madame de Foiroux, and all I said was that it was clearly a good idea, but that she ought to send her to a convent.
Well, there's no harm in that, my pet. I agree with her.
Do you believe what she says? Don't believe a word of it! She's a liar, a traitor, she insults me every chance she gets!
All right, I believe you, my little love. Calm now, calm down.
Now get me some comfortable pillows and we'll make him easy in his chair. You don't look good at all, my little. Pull your cap down around your ears. There's nothing like a draft in the ears for catching cold.
Oh, my love, you take such good care of me.
If you can just lift yourself up and put this one behind you. Yep. Let's put one on his side and one on his other side. One behind his head to support his.
And this one can help keep out the bad night air.
She's trying to smother me!
What's the matter now?
Oh, she's completely done me in!
Why are you getting so hysterical? She was only trying to do the right thing.
Oh, you don't know how insolent she is. She's useless and lazy, and she's upset me so much. I'll have to take 12 enemas and 5 remedies before I even begin to feel better.
There, my love. Do try to calm down just a little.
Oh, my love, you're my only consolation.
My poor one.
And as recompense,
Recompense?
Recompense! As recompense for your love, I want to make your good doings known. I want to rewrite my will.
So, my beloved one, let us not speak of such things. The very idea of the word will makes me shudder with fear and horror.
No, my love. I told you to speak to the notary about this.
Well, he is just outside the door. I brought him with me as you request.
Oh! We'll let him in.
Oh, my love. When a woman loves her husband as I do you, she's reduced to such a state of anguish when she's forced to talk about such things. But here, Sir, is Bonaparte, a dear friend and authority on these matters.
I wanna be a billionaire, so freaking bad. Buy all of the things I never had. I wanna be on the cover of Forbes magazine, smiling next to Oprah and the Queen.
My wife, monsieur, has informed me that you are an honest man and one of her closest friends, so I have summoned you here to discuss the rewriting of my will.
Oh, my beloved one, how can you ask me to speak of such things? You know how I abhor such topics. I can never bring myself to discuss them.
There's no need for such detailed discussion, madam. At a previous encounter, the lady, for my benefit, described the type of things you had in mind and how you envision the future. I regret to inform you, you cannot bequeath anything to your wife.
And why not?
Snap! Common law, as practiced in this country, forbids it. If you lived in a country with a statutory law, it would be possible. But in petty and all other townships where common law is the rule, this cannot occur. And any effort to do so would quickly be invalidated. Given that you have had a previous marriage, all a man and his second wife can do is present deed of mutual gift to each other while they are both still alive. This can also occur if there are no children in the household, either from the couple themselves or the previous marriage. And this can also only occur when one or the other is declared deceased.
What a ridiculous tradition! How is it that a loving husband can't give anything to his doting wife, especially when she takes such good care of him? I am going to have to speak to my lawyer about what I can do about this!
There's no need to speak to your lawyer, monsieur. Such men are very strict in the interpretation of such matters, and they often consider it a crime to even consider disposing of property contrary to the accepted law and practice. After all, are there any lawyers in the house? Any at all? Any lawyers? Yes, see, that one in the back. Blech, but disgusting. After all, lawyers only cause problems and create issues. And unlike the more flexible professions, such as the notary, they seem especially unsympathetic to the niceties of one's conscience. And you might find one such professional who your wife might recommend, who will be a little more compliant, and who you can consult. One such professional might help smooth out the difficulties imposed by law. One such professional might help you get around the obstacles of affairs. And one such professional can find loopholes to help you work inside, outside, and at the edge of law. After all, there must be some flexibility in such matters. Otherwise, how could life and property move on?
My wife, monsieur, was correct when she described you as a honest, experienced, talented man. So, how would you go about rewriting my will so I can pass it on to my wife instead of passing it on to my children?
Let's see. Snap! One possibility might be that you make out a secret will, leaving all your property and assets to a close friend of yourself, who has experience in such matters, perhaps even myself. And make sure that make sure that you find exact and proper legal guidelines for deed of gift. And then, after your death, I, or he, will present her with all material goods. And, of course, while you're still alive, you can present her with cash, promissory notes that are made payable to the bearer.
Oh, my love, you must not consider any of this. If something happens, you how could I possibly go on living?
Oh, my love!
Yes, my dearest one, if I should suffer the greatest of misfortunes, losing you,
Oh, my dearest!
life would not mean a thing to me.
Oh.
I would follow you beyond the grave to demonstrate the depth of my affection for you.
Oh, please do not speak like this. You are tearing me apart. I beg you.
There's no need for these tears, madam. Your husband is not dead yet.
Oh, sir, you can't imagine what it's like to have a husband that one loves so dearly.
In my final moments, my only regret will be that I have no child beside you. But, given time, Dr. Pagon assures me he can arrange that.
He certainly tried. There is still time.
That is decided. I shall rewrite my will in the manner that you have described, but, as a precaution, I shall give her the 20,000 sous that I have hidden behind a panel, hidden by a cupboard, near my bed. And, as an extra precaution, I will give her 2 promissory notes payable to the bearer.
No, I want none of this. And how much did you say?
20,000 sous, my love.
Don't talk to me of things like property and cash, I beg you. And how much did you say those 2 promissory notes were?
One is for 4,000 sous, the other for 6, my love.
All the riches in the world is nothing compared to your love, my dearest.
Shall we want to be writing of this will?
Yes, but will we not be more comfortable in my private study?
Yes, come on.
Oh, let me help you. Come in.
They're with the notary, and I heard them talking about a will. Oh, you've never catch that stepmother of yours dozing when it comes to cash, and I swear she's got your father roped in some plan or other that won't benefit you in the least.
Let him dispose of his money and property any way he likes, so as long as he doesn't throw away my heart in the bargain. Oh, Toinette, can't you see what all this is doing to me? Don't abandon me when I need you the most. Help me.
I abandon you. I'd rather die. Despite your stepmother's efforts to enlist my help and her apparent willingness to tell me every little secret, I could never trust her. Now and then, it may seem like I'm siding with them and agreeing with everything they say, but you have to remember it's all a ruse to throw them off the scent.
Can you find some way to warn Cléante about the arranged marriage?
Yes, and I know just who we can use. My old lover, that usurper, Pierre!
Pierre!
Pierre! It'll cost some sweet words in his ear, but for your sake, I would gladly do it. Toinette! She's calling for me. Good night, and trust me.
What do I want?
Oh, it's you. How may I help you?
I've come here to learn my fate. To
Well.
speak with the exquisite Angelique.
Well.
And to find out what she truly feels about me.
Well.
And I've come to ask her what she will do about this tragic marriage I've just been warned about.
Well. Well, you can't speak in such a direct way to someone in a situation like Angelique's. You must be more subtle, more cautious in your approach. You must have learned that she is watched at all times. She is not allowed to leave the house. It is only because she was with an old aunt, that she was allowed to attend the lecture while your romance was ignited, and was made very sure never to mention that little adventure.
I understand all that, and that's why I've come in disguise. I'm no longer Cleante the lover. Instead, I am her substitute music teacher. Her real teacher is a friend of mine. He's permitted me to come in his place.
But when you stand back, I'll make the introduction.
Dr. Burbank has ordered me a morning constitutional. I must walk back and forth across the room two dozen times. But I forgot to ask him if it was the length or the breadth of the room I should be walking.
Sir, there's a man here.
Oh, speak more quietly. You always forget that the sick should not be spoken to so loudly.
Well, sir, I just thought...
Quietly, I said! What? What are you trying to say?
I said there's a man here who would like to speak with you.
Let him approach.
Sir!
Don't speak too loudly, you'll give sir a headache.
Sir, I'm delighted to see that you are up and about. You are convalescing well, I hope?
What do you mean, convalescing well? Sir is always ill, and who are these fools who have told you otherwise?
But I had heard that Mr. Argonne was feeling better, and he really does look much improved.
Much improved? Whoa! He may look, sound, speak, and talk like everyone else, but truly he's very, very ill.
Oh, she's absolutely right.
Yeah.
I'm terribly sorry to hear that, sir. I've been sent by your daughter's singing master, who's been obliged to leave town for a few days. As I am his closest friend, he has permitted me to come in his place. For truly, he fears she will forget everything she knows if her lessons have the slightest interruption.
A wise course. Call Angelique here.
Well, sir, I thought it would be better if I brought this man to her room.
No, bring her here.
But, sir, they can't have a proper lesson if they're not alone.
Of course they can.
But it might upset you, monsieur. You know you've been ordered to avoid excitement, and such a thing might bring on a migraine.
Oh, no, I love enjoying music and... Oh, here she comes.
There's only you in my life, the only thing that's right. My virtue, you're every breath that I take, you're every step I make, and I want to share all I love with you. No one else will.
I learned my lines, I swear! Oh, darling Angelique, come here. Your music teacher is out of town, but has sent this man to take his place.
Bonjour.
Oh, sweet heavens.
What is wrong?
It's just...
It's just what?
It's just that... This is the most extraordinary thing, Father.
What?
I dreamt last night that I was in dire distress and that someone who looks just like this gentleman, minus the mustache, came to my aid. Oh, I explained the dangers and hopelessness of my situation and begged for his help. And in the dream, shock to suddenly see him standing here, in our house, since he only appeared in that dream last night.
I'm gracious to be in your thoughts, waking or sleeping, dear miss. And it would be an honor and a privilege to deliver you from any danger you find yourself in at any time. There is nothing I would not do.
Yes. No! Pardon me, dear sir. I must interrupt and take back everything I said yesterday, for today I am entirely in support of your decision. For who should have arrived but Madame Diafoirou and Thomas Diafoirou the son? They have come to pay a social call. What a marvelous son-in-law for you, sir. You know, you are about to meet the handsomest, wittiest, boldest young man in all the world. He has said 2 words to me, and they have so amazed me that I'm sure your daughter will be nothing if not charmed by him.
Oh, please do not go, sir. I will explain. My eldest daughter is to marry a fiancé she has not yet met, and of course, you must stay and meet him.
I'm honored for such an invitation. I'm somewhat surprised to be present at such an interview, though.
Oh, pshaw! You do not know this, but he's the son of a renowned physician. Oh, and the marriage is due to take place in 4 days.
Delightful.
Please tell her singing master about the marriage. We would love for him to be a guest at the wedding.
I will be certain to do so, sir.
And please come yourself.
You offer too great an honor.
Oh, places, here they come.
Madame, for medical reasons, Dr. Pagan has forbidden me to remove my cap. I'm sure since you were once married to a man of this profession, you will forgive my apparent rudeness.
Don't be concerned in the least, sir. When we come to visit the sick, we strive to bring aid and comfort, not anxiety and trepidation.
I am so overjoyed and so honored to do me. Sorry. But I only wish I could return you the same hospitality, but my illness does not permit such hospitality. But I'm sure you more than anybody else can fully understand the way that the ill truly feel. But do not be mistaken, for I will use every moment to show that you are my most kind and humble servant.
Come on, Thomas. Don't be shy. Step forward.
Do I start with the father?
Of course.
1001? 1002? Sir, I come here to acknowledge, to cherish, and to revere you as a second father, to embrace and to venerate you as that second father, even more so than my first father, so that I owe you more than that first father I once had, but no longer do so. The first one engendered me, but you have selected me. What I was given from his loins was merely the work of his body. What I have been given from your soul is the work of your intellect. And just as reason is triumphant over carnal desire, so much more do I owe you, and so much more do I honor and treasure this precious filial alliance. And so today, I render you, in advance of the actual act of marriage, my most humble, respectful, and complete thanks. Ow.
Thank heavens for the colleges and universities. They turn out such educated people.
Oh, how's that, Mother?
Optime verbatim filium.
Step forward and greet the young gentleman.
Oh, do I have to kiss her, Mama?
Yes, of course.
Right.
Wait.
Huh.
Ah.
Ah?
Ah.
Ah?
Ah.
Oh! Ah. Madam,
Heaven has deigned it right and proper that you should be called mother-in-law.
That's not my wife, that's my daughter!
Where is your wife?
She's on her way.
Shall I wait until she gets here?
Greet the young lady, Thomas.
You might recall, miss, that the statue of Memnon in ancient times emitted euphonious sounds.
Euphonious.
Sounds when struck each morn by the first rays of the golden sun. So too I'm emboldened and empowered in sweet transport by your blessed beauty, which blazes more triumphantly than that golden orb. Those scientists who study nature tell us that the heliotrope, that golden little flower, always turns its face towards the heavenly light. So shall I too turn my heart to follow those glorious rays that emanate from your enrapturing eyes. Until the world comes to an end, they will prove my northern star, my point of navigation. Permit me, my dearest miss, on this day of all days, to place before the altar of your beauty my heart. A heart that for the remainder of its days will seek no other bliss than to be seen as your most humble, respectful, and obedient servant and husband.
See what I said about studying, and that you say the most beautiful things.
And what do you think of all of this?
This gentleman is amazing. If he should be as good an orator as a physician, it would be a pleasure to be counted as one of his patients.
Yes, although I'd be surprised if his cures could match his speeches. Fetch Madame a chair. Sit next to the young gentleman. Do you see, Madame, how everyone adores your child? You should be proud to be the parent of such a superb son.
Sir, Sir, in all honesty, I am pleased with my young man. Everyone who meets him says he is incapable of any subtle or suspicious gesture. And in truth, he's never shown any form of imagination. As a child, he never was the brightest spark. But that's because he was always so gentle, quiet, retiring, never fulsome in his speech, nor, thank God, playing all those childish games. In truth, he never learned his alphabet until he was 9 or 10. But excellent, I said to my husband. Excellent for the
Tree that bears the latest fruit is always the best.
We'll work on it.
Oh.
When we sent him off to university, he found it quite challenging. But he went on to be praised by his tutors for such hard work and resilience. And through thick and thin, I am pleased to say that he was granted his baccalaureate. In the 2 years since that time, no graduate of the Academy has had a louder voice in college debates. He is dreaded by everyone who attends, for no matter what motion is proposed, he will argue against it to the bitter end. He never changes his mind on any point, even to the last syllable. And he, without question, accepts all traditions and rejects all new ideas. And like his father, he absolutely rejects the fallacy that blood circulates throughout the body.
Yes, I've written a thesis entirely in opposition to that theory that blood circulates through the body. And with your permission, my father-in-law to be, I'd like to present it to your daughter as the first fruits of my labors.
I have no use for such a thing, sir. I know nothing about such matters.
Oh, let me see it. It looks like it's got some lovely designs, and I can use it to decorate my bedroom wall.
Yes. With my father-in-law-to-be's permission, I'd like to invite you to come with me one day this week to attend a dissection of a woman. I have to write a paper for my degree.
Now, there's a really romantic idea. You know, some men take their fiancées to a lecture or to the theatre, but a human dissection, my word, what a catch you are.
And now I must address those specific requirements necessary for marriage and propagation. I can assure you that Thomas has been examined fully and minutely with regard to his necessary equipment. He has everything in place and functional that one might wish for. And I'm given to understand that he is in possession of such significant desire for human passion, rendering him able to penetrate the shyest of partners, thus likely to further the youthful union in the production of offspring.
Do you wish, madame, to see him in the best circles of society and gain acceptance into the best medical facilities?
In truth, sir, as my late husband used to say, it is never good for a fledgling doctor to work with patients this early in his career. It is best to work with the general populace, for they are always more obliging. With them, a doctor is never responsible for his actions, good nor bad. And as long as he follows all traditional practices, he will never face condemnation nor praise. But when you work with the famous and well-known, they always expect to be cured every time.
How very unreasonable of them. You know, the doctor's job is only to collect fees and write prescriptions. The patient should learn to do the curing themselves.
You speak the truth. The public expects too much of physicians these days.
Monsieur, will you make my daughter sing a little song for us?
I was hoping for such a request, but I thought you would be more entertained if your daughter and I were to perform something from the latest London theater. Just borrow your program real quick. Thank you so much. Here is your part.
My part?
Don't object. Just let me describe the scene. I must admit, I'm not a very good singer, so I hope that I can make myself understood. I'm certain you will all make allowances, for my primary desire is to assist Mistress Angelique.
Is it any good?
It's rather improvisational. In fact, the overall intent of the composer was to convey the passion of two characters through spontaneous outbursts and the first words that come to their heads.
It sounds intriguing. We shall hear it.
Here is the background to the scene. Once, there was a young merchant who went to a public hall to hear a lecture. He was so engaged in the ideas of the lecture when not long after it started, he was distracted by some noise from behind him. He turned and saw a lout insulting a lovely young woman with rude language. Immediately, he leapt to the young maid's defense. For every true man knows the fair sex such duty. After dispensing with the cad, he approached the young maiden and beheld her beauty with the deepest eyes imaginable. Tears were gently tumbling from those orbs, and they were the most beautiful and lustrous drops he had ever seen. Oh God, he had said to himself, how could anyone be so brutal to such a vision of loveliness? Could any living man, even a savage, not be transformed by those tears? He lifted his hand and gently wiped the tears that moved him so. The compassionate maiden graciously thanked him with such exquisite charm that he was struck to his very soul. Every word, every look was like a flaming arrow in his heart. Meanwhile, he failed to notice that the intermission had arrived, because when the applause ceased, he realized he would be required to leave the lovely maiden. So, with regret and longing interwoven in his heart, he carried home the memory of that first encounter. But from it, was born a love so intense that it would transcend time in the model of eternal love itself. He sought all within his power to see her again, for she was haunted, waking and sleeping by her beauteous vision. But it was all in vain. The young maiden was imprisoned, kept from all earthly visitations. And now, the raging in his heart was like an insatiable thirst. He determined that his only course lay in seeking her hand in marriage. By means of secret missives he had delivered to his love, he sought for this request. But to his horror, he had learned that her father had made arrangements for her to marry another. Imagine, if you can, the cruel, almost fatal blow dealt to the sad lover's heart. He is tormented endlessly by the image of his beloved thrust into the arms of some creature. And then, at last, he finds a way to enter her home, to ask her what she was feeling, to hear from her very lips what fate might have in store for them. But when he entered her abode, horror! He was forced to witness the arrival of that idiotic rival chosen by whim to be the obstacle of his love. This very sight fills him with such madness he can barely withhold himself. But with propriety and common sense and her father's presence, it permits him that he only speaks the truth through the language of the eyes. He exchanges such glances, such longing looks to his beloved. And then, at last, he can barely withhold himself and allows passion to erupt. My fairest one, let us break this silence. Teach me your desires. I shall strive to live in joy and ecstasy, or choose a grave and lie there cold.
Behold me, sad and lost, but fear not, my love. I see these wedding vows as false. I plead with heaven above and implore that it will save me. I'm in torment and in despair. Remove this pain and give me leave to love again.
I had no idea Angelique's had such abilities for sight reading.
My fairest one, how blessed I would be if you were to grant me but a special place within your heart.
I love you.
What did you say?
I love you.
Nay, say again, oh say.
I love you true.
And I so evermore to you. But what of my rival there?
Of his very image, I do despair. I will never be his bride.
Oh, love, can we forget? Your firm father and where he sits.
I would myself slave an earthly father once obey.
Come death and love and welcome too, for I will ever go with you.
Me, I have a question about the play. Think on me. Okay, thank you. What does the father think of all of this?
Nothing.
He must be a fool to put up with all of this twaddle and still say nothing.
My fairest
No, that cannot be right. Let me see that. Can't even hold it right. This is really challenging. Wow. There's nothing but a cast list and a few headshots. Oh. A picture of a handsome devil.
Haven't you heard, sir, about the newest forms of notation?
Yes.
Thank you, even though it was an idiotic piece.
I was only hoping to entertain you.
That sort of thing will never be entertaining. Oh, and here comes my loving wife. Let me introduce to you Madame Dioforu and her son Thomas.
Oh, Madam, heaven has invoked its divine right and granted you the title of mother-in-law-to-be. For in your face the world
Sir, I'm gratified to have arrived here promptly so that I can with true delight make your acquaintance.
But for in your face Madam, you have interrupted me in the midst of my sentence, and now I've completely forgotten what I was going to say.
You could use it again some other time.
Oh, my love, I wish you had been here earlier.
Yes, if you had been here, you would have heard all about second fathers and statues of Memnon and flowers called heliotropes.
Angelique, come here, grab the young gentleman's hand and agree to marry him.
Oh, Father!
What do you mean, our father?
Father, please, I beg of you, do not rush us into things so. Give us a little time to get to know each other, to see if there's an attraction between us. Attraction is important if we're going to have a successful marriage.
For my part, Angelique, I'm already attracted. I don't need any more time.
You may arrive at that decision very quickly. I, however, am not attracted to you. In fact, you have completely failed to make any sort of impression on me.
Well, there will be plenty of times for first impressions once you are married.
Please, Father, give me a little more time. Marriage is a harness that no heart should be bridled with. And if this man is truly as honorable as he claims, he wouldn't want a bride who is given to him trust and restrained.
That's faulty logic, Angelique. Truly faulty logic. Being a man of honor does not prevent me from taking you by force.
It's morally reprehensible to make somebody love you by force.
But, when we study our ancestors in history, Angelique, we always see it was their custom to kidnap their brides-to-be from their father's place. In fact, it appears to me that no woman in history would ever have fallen into a man's arms willingly,
We do not allow such violence and debauchery in this day and age. Our ancestors were precisely that, sir. Ancestors. The past is in the past while we are living in the present. Today, when a marriage is a true and good one, both parties will know that it is true and good, and that no one has been forced into it. Be patient. If you really loved me, you would want to please me.
I might. But not when they get in the way of my passions.
The greatest demonstration of love is surrendering your wishes to those of the person you love.
Distinguo, mistress, a legal distinction which I must assert. To all matters that do not interfere with the man's ownership of the woman, I will concede. Concedo. But to all matters that of a man's ownership, I will object. Nego!
Angelique, this man is the product of the finest universities. There's no point in arguing with him. You will only lose. Besides, who would not want to be connected body and soul to the medical academy?
Perhaps there is someone else you have in mind.
If I had, madame, I assure you that my choice would be someone of honor and truth.
Oh, this is making me look like the foolish one.
If I were in your shoes, my best beloved, I wouldn't make her choose right away. Instead, I know exactly what I would do.
I know what you are implying, madame. I know what you would like to do. Well, I also know that you will not get what you want.
And if I do not, it's because very clever and very polite young girls like yourself seem to make fun of their poor fathers. It wasn't like this in my day.
Even dutiful daughters have their breaking points, madame.
That's rather like saying you have your heart set on marriage and you want to select your own husband who meets your needs and your desires.
If my father refuses me a husband who meets my standards, then I would beg him at least not to force me into a marriage with someone I cannot ever love.
I do apologize for all of this commotion.
Everyone has their own reason to marry. I want a husband that I can love and with whom I can live in harmony for the rest of my life. Some people get married just to escape their parents. Some to be free to make their own choices. And some people, madame, see marriage as a commercial opportunity. Some women apparently get married only to make money. There are some who won't even wait for their husbands
silly little child. You've become such a fool now that there's just no tolerating you.
Say whatever you like, madame. I will rise above it. And happily, I will remove myself from your sight!
Angelique, there is no middle ground in this debate. You will either marry the man that I have chosen for you, or you'll be locked in a convent! Do not worry yourself with her, my dear. I will deal with her.
I'm afraid I must leave you for now, my darling. I've some unfinished business in town that can't wait any longer.
Oh, do what you have to do, but do not forget to speak to the notary about our little business.
Adieu, my love.
Farewell, my dearest. I love you. Now there goes a woman that loves me so much it cannot be believed.
Well, sir, we must take our leave.
Oh, before you go, will you do a quick check on my constitutional?
Come along, Thomas. Take the man's pulse.
Oh?
You could diagnose his symptoms properly.
Yes, mother.
Well, what do you have to say?
After careful consideration, I would say that this is the pulse of a man who is not well.
Very wise.
Yes, it is one of moderate rate, or one might even say slower than moderate rate.
Good.
It proceeds with fits and starts,
Excellent.
and it might even be a little irregular.
Optime.
This sort of action indicates an imbalance in the spleen, or the parenchyma, or the splenic parenchyma.
Oh, no, Dr. Pagon insists that it's my liver.
Well, sir, when one refers to the splenic parenchyma, one always refers to the liver and the spleen. The two have such a strong connection, as you know. They are connected in the lower intestine, the pylorus, and the gastrointestinal tract. I'm sure he has ordered you to eat nothing but roast meats.
Oh, boiled.
Roast, boiled, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. You couldn't be in better hands.
Oh, how many grades of salt should I put on my fresh eggs?
6, 8, 10, as long as it's an even number. And with pills, it must always be an odd number. That is the best thing.
Well, thank you very much, madame. Thank you, sir.
Thomas!
I just stopped by. Before going out, my darling, to tell you something I think you ought to know. I was passing by Angelique's room when I happened to notice a man with her. But as soon as I saw him, he strangely ran away.
A man in my daughter's room?
Yes, and that precious child Louison was with them, but I'm sure she'll tell you all about it.
Angelique, that brazen hussy! Call Louison to me!
No.
Call Louison here! Bring my your daughter here! No! Bring Louison! Hey, you, stay! Stay! That's right. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, making me wait. Sorry. Bring Louison here! Dang. My younger daughter, Louison! What? Louison! Bring her here!
On the good ship, loading hot, it's where bombs don't play. On the sunny beach in Peppermint Bay.
Papa, you want to see me?
Yes! Come here! Come closer! Turn around! Look up.
Oh.
Look at me! Well?
Well, what?
So!
What?
Haven't you anything to tell me?
Well, if you're bored, I could tell you the tale of the donkey skin. Or the story about the raven and the fox I learned them yesterday.
Oh, you sly brute, you know very well that's not what I'm asking you.
Papa, what do you want?
Is this how you obey me?
I don't know what you mean.
Didn't I tell you, whenever you saw anything, to report to me directly?
Yes, Papa.
Have you always done that?
Yes, Papa.
Haven't you seen anything today?
No, Papa.
No?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure.
Oh, well, good. Okay. Then I'll have to show you something, won't I? Ha! You little Jezebel, you saw an older man in my daughter's room!
No, Papa! No!
No! You will be beaten!
No! Papa, please do not beat me!
You shall be punished!
Papa, please do not beat me!
You shall be punished!
No! No! Oh! Papa! You're really hurting me now. I did it.
What has happened? You saw my daughter! She is dead! Oh! Poor me! Oh, my daughter is dead! What have I done? What have I done? What have... It's the kid! It's the damn kid! Mom! Hey, yeah! My daughter! My child!
I'm sorry.
Oh, you little charlatan! Oh, I will forgive you just this once. But only if you tell me everything. Be very careful, for this little finger knows when you lie.
But you mustn't tell my sister I've told you.
I won't.
Well, Papa, there's a man in my sister's room. And I asked him what he wanted, and he said he was my sister's singing master.
Yes, and then what happened?
And then my sister came in.
Oh, and then what?
And she said, go away, good heavens, you'll make me do something desperate.
Yes, what happened next?
Well, he refused to go away, Papa.
Yes, but what did he say?
He said all kinds of things to her.
Like what?
You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. How he loved to dearly, and she was the most beautiful woman in the world.
And then what happened?
And then he fell to his knees in front of her.
And then what?
And he kissed her hand. And then stepmother came in and he ran away.
And there's nothing else?
No, Papa.
Oh, really? Then why is my finger telling me you're hiding something?
Your finger's a favorite, Papa.
Oh, be very careful.
Papa, I swear to you, the finger lies. Don't believe it.
Really, man? Trusted you, God. All right. Go along and play, but if you see anything, make sure to come to me immediately.
Okay, wait.
Children these days, a complete and utter disaster. Look at that one there! And the little frilly thing on the head, I don't know what that's called. Oh, complete disaster. You should really work on that. After all this upset, I haven't even had a chance to think about my illness. At this rate, I won't last much longer.
Well now, brother, what's wrong? How are you?
Oh, brother, I'm so very poorly.
What do you mean, poorly?
Oh, brother, I'm nearly at death's door.
That is most unfortunate.
I may not even have the strength to speak to you.
Ah, I see. Well, I have come here with a purpose, brother. I would like to propose a match for my niece, Angelique.
Oh, do not speak to me about that Coca-Cola. Coquette?
Coquette?
Coquette. She is a liar, a brazen hussy, and she'll be locked in a convent forever!
See now? You're getting your strength back. That's marvelous. I'm glad my visit has done you such good. But we can talk about that business later. Because I've brought with me a little diversion, which I know will get rid of your melancholy, your excess bile, and put you in a much better mood. I have brought with me a new spectacle who call themselves the Physicians. This artistic stimulation will do you as much good as one of Dr. Bagon's restoratives. If not, more. Come in, and allow me to introduce my brother, Mr. Argon.